Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about the awesome new social media slash podcast slash webinar app called Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse, a lot of you may have just heard about it, but actually the app has been around since March of 2020. Now, because of the way that it's set up, the news about this app has slowly made its rounds around the internet. I don't know why I can't get that word out, but now it's really catching on in the midst of this pandemic and people looking for new and improved ways to get on social media. Now, some people think Clubhouse is only geared for people that in business, but that's not necessarily the case. Regardless what interest you have, you can definitely find a discussion on Clubhouse and take part in it and listen. Now, unlike most social media apps where you can post photos or videos, Clubhouse doesn't work that way. It's a speech only app where you can drop in specific rooms or create your own rooms and have conversations with people around the world. Now, one of the challenging things about Clubhouse is that not everyone can get into Clubhouse. You have to be invited to the app in order to get access. Now, the funny thing about it is there even is a Clubhouse website. But if you go to that website, this is what you're going to get. Uh-oh, we're still opening up and anyone can join with an invite from an existing user. That's right. If you want to get access to Clubhouse, one of your social media friends has to invite you to Clubhouse. And what makes it more challenging for Clubhouse, unlike a lot of the social media apps or programs out there, is that with invites from Clubhouse, once you're invited, you only start out with two invites in order to send to your friends so that they can join Clubhouse. Now, that's a challenge because which two people are you going to select to join Clubhouse? Now, I've seen people post on social media about I need an invite to Clubhouse, and most people are willing, but it doesn't always work out that way as far as getting invites to Clubhouse. So it's you really have to beg and make sure that you can get someone to send you an invite to Clubhouse. But once you're in Clubhouse, the setup is like any other social media platform, and I have to say that the app is very fairly very user friendly for you to get access. So the challenge is unlike most social media platforms, I can't go to the website and show you how it works. So we had to get my iPhone and get connected via screen in order to get you access to Clubhouse. While I'm doing that, the other thing that I have to mention about Clubhouse is speaking of iPhones, it's only for iPhone users only. So if you have an Android device, you can forget it. You're not getting invited to the Clubhouse. Now, that's not to say that there's anything wrong with Android phones. The challenge is that the manufacturers of the Clubhouse app have definitely not made it available for Android users. So let's pull up our program Lonely Screen and let's get started with getting connected with Clubhouse. Now my iPhone's being a little stubborn to do a screen share, so we are connected. Well, let me show you how the process works. So let's do screen share by showing the desktop. I'm going to mirror, I'm going to go out, and I'm going to get to my apps, and lo and behold, we are already in Clubhouse. Now, when you log into the app after you get your invites, this is the screen that you're going to see, which is the main screen. Now, based on your topics, you're going to see different rooms pop up, and you can jump into those rooms, or popular rooms that are in Clubhouse will pop up in your quote, your Clubhouse feed. Now, getting to the main or the setup screen, I can definitely show you how this is going to work. So my phone just alerted me that Burton, you're low on battery. So we've got to make this quick. So anyway, let's switch back to our desktop. I'll show you how that main screen is going to work. Now, maneuvering my smartphone and the mouse, I'm going to click on my profile picture, which you can see has been pulled over from another social media platform. Actually, this photo is on all my social media platforms, so you're going to see it everywhere. Now, I joined Clubhouse or was sent an invite January of this year, nominated by good friend and tech expert Dave Taylor. He had to beg and get somebody to join, so he sent me an invite. Now, one of the things that you can do on Clubhouse is fill out a platform or profile like you would on other social media platforms. You can add your picture from your previous social media platform. You can also add your Twitter account and your Instagram account so that people can find you on those other social media platforms. Now, we're going to go to the cog here, and that's why I've got the mouse here. And what you can do is you can disconnect from Twitter with Clubhouse or reconnect with Twitter or disconnect from Instagram, and that doesn't really have any bearing on the app. Now, under settings, going back up to the top, you can get those annoying social media alerts when you've got the Clubhouse app installed on your iPhone. And I have to throw that just back out there. iPhone. Now, someone's going to ask, well, what if I have an iPad? Well, the unfortunate thing about Clubhouse Clubhouse is really designed for iPhones. If you have an iPad, you have to zoom in times two, and Clubhouse just looks really weird on an iPad. So just take that in consideration. Now, going back to our notifications, you can change how often you get notifications. And I can tell you, if you switch it to very frequent, your iPhone is going to be popping with notifications letting you know. Now, trending rooms, you can turn that on. Rooms that are popular with people, you can turn that on. Also, too, you can pause notifications by hitting that switch. Now, as far as Clubhouse and what you're going to enjoy, you can go to interests. And under your interests, as you can see, there are a ton of topics that you can join and get with Clubhouse. As you can see, some of the topics that I've picked on are networking, entrepreneurship. I can do real estate, and you can slide these over using my finger. I'm not using the mouse. So if you see some of the topics are kind of off the screen, you can definitely use your touchscreen on your iPhone and scoot that over. But what your interest does with Clubhouse is it just kind of allows you to set up what chat rooms or webinars or podcasts, whatever you want to call them, show up in your feed. So it's very customizable as far as what you want to show up in your feed. You could select all of these, you could select one of these, it doesn't matter. If you choose an interest, you will get topics that are suited to your interest. Of course, I always have to point this out. You might want to read the terms of service. Now, according to Clubhouse, none of the conversations are recorded in Clubhouse, but that's not to say that someone could bring a recorded device and record some of the chat that goes in on Clubhouse. So you may see those pop up on other social media channels, but as far as the app itself, once a room disappears on Clubhouse, then that room is gone forever. Now, based on some of the topics that I've selected, you can see some of the rooms that have popped up. Now, before we go into a room, and I will have to turn my speakers on so that we can hear what's going on. You'll be able to hear it, but I won't. Let's look at some of the other things that you can do within the app. Now, the little mailbox here is basically your mail system letting you know different things that are coming in. So if I want to invite someone to Clubhouse, I've currently got 5 invites, and there's a list of people that I could send an invite to Clubhouse. Now, before you just send random invites to Clubhouse, I'd highly recommend that you reach out and touch someone to find out if they actually want to be on Clubhouse, or even if they have an iPad, because the problem, or excuse me, an iPhone. Because the problem is, if you send a random invite to somebody and someone who really wants to join Clubhouse asks for an invite, you will get more invites, but the process of allowing it is kind of slow. And as you can see, you'll get credit on their profile like I did with Dave Taylor. So let's go back to my profile, and as you can see, nominated by Dave Taylor to join the secret society of Clubhouse. But when you go back to the messages, which I just clicked on, whoever you invite, it'll show that you were the person that initiated that invite with Clubhouse. Now, moving out into the main menu, or as I like to call it, the feed, you can also go to calendar of events. Now, you can see there are different chats that are coming up based on your selection. So grow your income and followers on Clubhouse, Test Room, etc., etc. And as you can see, these are events that have been scheduled and they will show up on events. And we'll talk about scheduling that in a second. Now, our alerts, which everyone should recognize this from any social media platform. If you click on, oh, let's not hide that room. We click on that, as you can see, you will get activity alerts just like you do on any of your social media platforms. So anything that occurs on the app, you definitely will get an alert letting you know what activity is going on. So if you want to keep up with that, your alerts will or activity will let you know what's going on. And of course, we've already been here, but I like seeing my photos, so I always click on that just so that you can kind of see what's going on. Now, let's look through the list of stuff that we have and actually join a Clubhouse session. And this is kind of fun. And of course, for this, for my sake, I have to turn on my speaker so I can hear what's going on. And it's going to give you a little taste of what going into a Clubhouse room is. Now, as far as photos are concerned, the only thing that you can do with Clubhouse as far as pictures is just add your own profile picture. Now, each person will have their profile picture or an avatar. That's the only extent as far as graphics are concerned in Clubhouse. Let me click my speakers on. Let's go into the pitch practice room we just click on it after a few
Because I
seconds.
think you could address those a lot better and hopefully be better around the next.
Recordings without the speaker's permission.
Yeah, you are super right. I do have traction, and I have a whole market section that I completely didn't get to because I didn't plan my time well. So thank you for that.
Hopefully.
All right, Steven, what are your thoughts for Danny?
Mute this for a hot second. So the sound is muted for the room, but at the same time, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on, if you're in a room in Clubhouse, you can go to the hand and ask a question, and the moderator of the page will see your hand and respond to you and allow you to chat. As you can see on the participants in the group, the microphones are muted, so you just don't have overrun of people talking. The people that are moderators, there is no microphone there, but as you can see, the microphone is muted. Now you can interact with people within a room. So let's say I wanted to click on Christina. I could follow her on Clubhouse. I can also look at her followers and see what's going on. And let's see what here. And you can also see who invited Christina to Clubhouse. Now, for the creepiness factor, just because you can follow someone on Clubhouse doesn't mean that it's permanent. So if you find yourself getting harassed by a fellow Clubhouse user, you definitely can block people like you can on any other social media platform, and you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, you can block.
If you felt comfortable, you didn't feel.
Now I'm going to turn the sound back on, and we're going to leave this room. But real quick, let's go back to our desktop here, and let's turn on the sound so you can kind of hear some of this conversation.
And another thing is like, well, I guess that doesn't really matter. Like, just guess it's semantics. It felt incredibly conversational, and I think that those things took away from the intentionality of the word you used with the rest of the page.
Allows me to leave quietly in the room. So once I do that, I slip out of the room. It doesn't make any specific notifications, but it lets me leave the room. Now, the other good thing about Clubhouse is that you can start your own room. You can either click on start a room here. You have the options of choosing that if it's an open room to the world, if it's only open to your small social media circle, or you can do a closed room where you can choose people that you want to join the group. So as you can see, the possibilities are kind of endless with this app, because if you wanted to just join in a quick podcast or webinar or private conversation, you can definitely jump on the Clubhouse, provided that the people you were inviting have iPhones, and you can have your own private conversation. Now, one last thing I wanted to show as far as the app is concerned is if we go back to the desktop, in the main screen, if you go to the lower window here, or I should say where the menu is, you can definitely send private chat messages to people and click on a room. That's one way you can get to it. But the other thing you can do too, if we go up to the magnifying glass and search, you do have the option to look for people to follow on Clubhouse. And like Elon Musk is on there, I could follow him. And what are the chances of old Elon following me? Probably slim to none. So anyway, you can follow him and see what he's up to. Same thing with old Zuckerberg. So there's quite a few big tech bigwigs that are on Clubhouse, and that's one of the reasons why it's become popular. But also, you can choose what you want to search for. So you can, if there's a club that you're looking for, you can definitely type in people or go to clubs and choose which option that you want to search for. So if there's someone invites you to a room or a club, you definitely can do a search for it and find it. You can also, let's go back to our main screen here. I wanted to go up to the calendar option, the last thing that I'm going to show you. If we click on calendar, as you can see, these are all the upcoming events that people have scheduled on Clubhouse for people to join. And as you can see, there are a variety of topics that you can choose from. And as you can see, most of them are business related. Um, but you can also, if we move the mouse up here so that you can see what the heck Burton's doing, you can click on the calendar here. You can make your own event. You can add a co-host or a guest. You can set a time, a timer, and description. And you also will have an event that's going to pop up on Clubhouse, allowing people to see what you want to talk about if you just want to have an open room. Now, I'm sure many of you, as far as Clubhouse is concerned, are thinking, boy, what another time suck, another social media channel to pop into. But if you log into Clubhouse and find the groups or customize your settings, you could definitely find it a peaceful process as far as listening to the conversations in Clubhouse. Doesn't take as much time with your other social media platforms because you're not having to type or worry about finding a nice graphic or video to post in on the network. You can just join in the Clubhouse, customize your groups, and find out what topics you want to hear or engage in. And you can either start or you can start your own topics. But the main thing is that it is a decent social media platform to get used to. Hopefully, in the future, Clubhouse will open up to you Android users out there and allow you to interact with us iPhone users that are engaged on the social media network right now. Again, Clubhouse available for the iPhone, not available. If I could pick it up, goodness, you can use an iPad to do it. That's a horrible screen of that iPad. Anyway, there you go. But again, it's definitely designed for the iPhone. So with that in mind, if you got comments and questions about Clubhouse, or if there was anything that I missed and I didn't show you, leave your comments in the comment section below. Love to interact with you and see if we can educate you more on Clubhouse. And I love throwing this out here. If you are on Clubhouse, you can definitely look me up at Burton Kelso. One other thing I was going to suggest once I show my pretty face is to make sure if you like this video to like and subscribe and share with all your family and friends. You can follow me or my company Integral on all of the social media platforms out there, including Clubhouse, and on YouTube, where, at least on all the other social media platforms, there's tons of tips and tricks that are designed to help you get more from the technology you use at home and work. So take care. Well, before I said that, I almost missed what I love saying. So I love technology and I've read all the manuals and I'm serious about making technology fun and easy to use for everyone. So take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile. And thanks for watching.